Hello students, welcome back. Now we are going to see about regarding intrinsic absorption. Okay, intrinsic absorption. First of all, what is meant by absorption here? Okay, what is meant by absorption? So already we discussed in previous class, right? So absorption is a major cause of signal loss. Okay, absorption is a major cause of signal loss in an optical fiber. Okay, and it is defined as the portion of attenuation resulting from the conversion of optical power into another energy. Okay, the portion of attenuation resulting from the conversion of optical power into another energy form, such as heat. Okay, heat or bond, etc. Right. So once again I am repeating, absorption is a major cause of signal loss in an optical fiber, and it is defined as the portion of attenuation resulting from the conversion of optical power into another energy form, such as heat, bonds, right, and electromagnetic field, and etc. Right. So those are the different forms are there. Okay, the portion of attenuation resulting from the conversion of optical power into another energy form. Okay, that is called as the absorption here. Right. So absorption are of three types. Already we discussed in previous classes, right? So absorption is of three types. So first one, it occurs by atomic defects. Okay, absorption by atomic defects. Second one, extrinsic absorption. Okay, extrinsic absorption. And third one is the intrinsic absorption. Okay, so regarding atomic defects absorption and extrinsic absorption we had discussed in previous classes. Now we go for intrinsic absorption. Okay, intrinsic absorption. So now we see about that one, right? First, it occurs when material is an absolutely pure state. Okay, the intrinsic absorption occurs when the material is in absolutely pure state with no density variations, impurities, material inhomogeneities, and so on. Okay, the intrinsic absorption occurs when material is in absolutely pure state with no density variations, impurities, material inhomogeneities, and so on. Okay, that is regarding intrinsic absorption. Next, it also results from electronic absorption bands. Okay, electronic absorption bands in UV region. Here UV indicates ultraviolet region, and from atomic vibration bands in the near infrared region. Okay, IR indicates the infrared region. Okay, the intrinsic absorption results from the electronic absorption bands in UV region, that is ultraviolet region, and from atomic vibration bands in the infrared region, that is IR region here. Okay, and next one, the intrinsic absorption occurs whenever the photon interacts with the electron. Okay, whenever the photon interacts with the electron in valence band and excites it to a higher level. So you are having molecules, right? So you are having some levels over there. So first level, second level, third level, like that. So this absorption occurs whenever the photon, okay, so it is one of the particle of light, right? So when photon interacts with the electron in the valence band and excites it to a higher level. Okay, whenever photon interacts with the electron, the particles will go to higher level there, because of they are getting the energy there, right? So when photon interacts with the electron in valence band and excite to a higher level. Okay, and next one, the expression for this loss can be expressed in alpha, right? Alpha UV equal to C into e power capital E by E naught. Okay, where C and E indicates, okay, in this equation C and E naught indicates empirical constants. Okay, these are the constants, and E is the photon energy. Okay, E is the photon energy. Okay, alpha is the loss at UV region. Okay, that's why it is indicated by alpha UV, right? Ultraviolet, right? And next one, this rule is called as Arbat's rule. Okay, whatever the expression we have given just now, alpha UV equal to C into e power capital E by E naught is called as the Arbat's rule. Okay, and next one, it shows the graph for optical fiber attenuation characteristics. So we have seen regarding different losses over there, right? So regarding absorption loss, right? So first one, absorption loss, scattering loss, and then radiative loss, right? So that kind of losses we can observe in this figure, right? In x-axis we have taken photon energy, right? Photon energy in electron volts, fine. And here it is, we have taken loss, that is the attenuation, that can be measured in decibels per kilometer. Okay, if you see zoom it, if you zoom it, so in this way it is occur. Okay, this figure shows optical fiber attenuation characteristics. Okay, and next one, we have seen, already we discussed, the fibers are made up of with different materials, right? The fibers are made up of with different materials, and GeO2 also, right? GeO2 also, that's why it is mentioned here. Their limit and their limiting mechanisms of for a GeO2 doped low loss, low water content silicon fiber. So what is meant by doping here? Adding the materials, that is adding the materials to the impurities. Okay, impurity materials, right? So here that is the doping here, right? Adding some materials to the impurity materials, right? And next one, as shown in these characteristics, the ultraviolet loss is small compared with scattering loss in the near infrared region. So here it is having in the infrared region here, right? So the scattering loss is sorry, the ultraviolet loss is small compared with scattering loss in the near infrared region. If you see in a graph, right, the ultraviolet loss is compared with the scattering loss is small. Okay, so the near the infrared region. And next one, in the near infrared region above 1.2 micrometers. So if you see here 1.2 micrometers, above the 1.2 micrometers, the optical waveguide loss, the optical waveguide loss is determined by the presence of OH ions. Okay, so already you know, so H2O is equal to H plus and OH minus, right? So the optical waveguide loss is determined by the presence of OH ions and the inherent absorption of the constituent material. Okay, the optical waveguide loss is determined by the presence of OH ions and the inherent absorption of the constituent materials. It is above 1.2 micrometers near the infrared region, that is IR region there. And next one, the inherent infrared absorption is associated with the characteristic frequency of the particular chemical bond between the atoms of which the fiber is composed. The inherent infrared absorption is associated with the characteristic vibration frequency of the particular chemical bond between the atoms of which the fiber is composed. So here fiber can be fabricated with the different bonds here with because of it is fabrication with the different materials over there, right? So that is the thing. And next one, this absorption is quite strong. Okay, this absorption is quite strong because of so many bonds present in the fiber. So why? Because the fiber is made up of with different materials. Okay, core, cladding, okay, whatever it may be. So those will be fabricated with different materials, hence this absorption is quite strong because so many bonds present in the fiber. Okay, that's this slide meaning over there, right? And the expression for infrared absorption in decibel per kilometer for GeO2, that is germanium dioxide and silica glass, is given by the expression for infrared absorption in decibel per kilometer for GeO2 hyphen SiO2, that is silica glass, is given by alpha IR. IR indicates infrared region equal to 7.81 into 10 power 11 into exponential of minus 48.48 divided by lambda. Here lambda is the wavelength and alpha is the attenuation over there. IR indicates infrared region. And from this hypothesis, okay, whatever we have discussed up to now, from this we can conclude that for operation of longer wavelength, GeO2 doped fiber material is the most desirable material. Okay, from this hypothesis we can conclude that for operation of longer wavelengths, GeO2 doped fiber material is the most desirable material. Okay, that is regarding the intrinsic absorption over there, right? So that is regarding intrinsic absorption. Okay, thank you all, thank you.